All right, today we're going to be talking about the order of operations to be somewhat of a review from elementary school. So in the past, you may have heard about PEMDAS or some other acronym for order of operations. Let's talk about what those letters mean. So the P stands for parentheses, but it's not limited to just parentheses. As you can see, there are also brackets or any other grouping symbols, which you would work from the inside out. That's your step number 1 in order of operations. Step number 2 is exponents. That's going to be the second thing you look for. And then the third is multiplying and dividing, but it needs to be definitely in order from left to right. It's not multiplying first and then dividing, which is a little deceiving, that PEMDAS, because it makes you feel like the M always comes before the D, but it's in order from left to right. Same with adding and subtracting. That's going to be from left to right, whichever one comes first, not always adding first. So let's take these rules into here for some examples. All right, so this first example over here, we're going to look and see if it has parentheses or grouping symbols, and it does right here. So I'm going to do 3 plus 4 equals 7. And then I'm going to write everything else down exactly the way it appears above. So I have 80 divided by 10 times 8 minus 7. Then I'm going to look for exponents, which I don't have, so I can go to the next step, which is multiplying and dividing in order from left to right. So we have multiplying and dividing in this problem, but we want to do what's first from left to right. So 80 divided by 10 comes before the 10 times 8. So 80 divided by 10 is 8, and we just copy everything else down. So each step we're only doing one operation. Moving down the list, I've not finished my multiplying and dividing, so I need to do another multiplication here to get 64. And then my last step is to subtract. So 64 minus 7 is going to be 57. That would be my answer. Okay, let's try some other examples. This next one, I look to see if there's parentheses, and there is right here. So 7 minus 3 is 4, and I'm going to keep everything else in the problem the same. So instead of 7 minus 3, I'm going to replace that with a 4. Then I'm going to look for exponents going left to right, and I have exponents right here. So 2 squared means 2 times 2, which is 4, and everything else is just going to be copied to see how it appears in the problem. Next, I'm going to multiply and divide in order from left to right. So I have some multiplication and division, but the multiplication is first. So I'm doing that first. 5 times 4 is 20. Next, I'm still not done with that step of the multiplying and dividing. I have some dividing over here, which needs to always be done before addition. So I'm not adding the 4 and 20 first. I'm doing the 20 divided by 10 first. 4 plus 2 is 6, and that's my answer. All right, this next one has the order of operations, but first we need to take these values and plug them into the problem. So these are variables that represent numbers. So instead of the A, I'm going to write 3. It says that A equals 3. And instead of B, I'm going to write 4. But that's not the number 34. This means A times B. So I can put a little dot there to mean multiplication. C is 6. B is 4, C is 6. So the first step is to replace the variables with the numbers. Then we're going to use the order of operations. First we're going to do parentheses, which I have right here, and everything else is just going to get copied down the same. So 3 times 4 divided by 6 minus 10, because 4 plus 6 is 10. And then I need to do multiplying and dividing in order from left to right. So you see that this has multiplying and dividing. So we're going to treat the numerator and the denominator separately. If you have a long numerator or a long denominator, you can just use the order of operations to even solve that part of the problem. So 3 times 4 is 12. I'm just copying everything down. So we can't subtract 10 until we've done the division. 12 divided by 6 is 2. And then, oh man, this is going to give us a negative number, which we haven't learned yet. So I'm going to remember when we do our notes together to change this to an add for everybody. It's just because we haven't done integers yet. So 2 plus 10 is 12. I might even write that on your notes so you won't even have to fix it. All right, lastly, we have another one where we're plugging in numbers for variables here. X n, y is 3, z is 15. So the first thing I'm going to do is replace is with 15, x with 10, y is 3, they're multiplied, put a little dot there, minus 15, minus 5. So we have 6 times 15 is 90. And then, in parentheses, we want to multiply before we subtract. So we have 15 minus 5. So 90 minus 15 is 75, and then we have 70 minus 5 is 70, and that would be my answer. All right, thanks for watching.